All right, everybody, MJ here. I haven't been on for quite a while because just hasn't been anything going on, and I've been feeling kind of sick and very busy. But yeah, in the past I've done a couple of these driving streams, and as long as I don't pay attention to the screen too much, I'm okay. And they've been pretty popular. I got my wireless mic on so I don't have to talk over the traffic. Nobody was expecting me to come on. You know, I was in Elon all this weekend since Thursday, and it rained the whole time. I had some great plans for the Lantern Festival. Everything's lit up with LEDs. Beautiful night. You know, Jiaoxi is where we were staying is a hot springs resort town. We had a beautiful, like Japanese onsen type place. It had a spa upstairs, and it was beautiful. We had a hot spring bath in our room. It was fantastic, and it was raining the whole time. I wanted to walk around and show you guys the city because it's beautiful, and I also wanted to show you, like, they have a public outdoor hot spring that you can soak your feet in. Sorry about the camera going up and down. I don't know why it always does that, but I'm unable to lock it, and it seems to be getting worse. Now, I brought a couple guitars with me because I got some new guitars. Actually, I got a shipment of 3 new guitars. Excuse me, I'm burping. And I brought 2 of them with me to Elon and had a chance to play them a little bit. I've set them up before. Well, I set one of them up before I left. One of them is a 12-string acoustic that's going to thanks a lot for your signal at the last second. That's what they do here. They put their signal on at the very last second. And of course, then they speed up when they come to an intersection because they don't want you to turn, because, then it means that you're better than them. You beat somehow. It's like playing my sister's grandkids or something. Anyway, this is Hsinchu City, near the big city mall area, and people just walk across the street. I know it's a crosswalk, but go ahead. But it's like it's not a force field, Okay. Prism Live Studio. We're broadcasting to Band, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and I forget where else. Hey Dave, how's it going? Oh, that sounds good, man. Yeah, cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dave is still in Malaysia. Penang, that sounds so cool. I've always wanted to go to peninsular Malaysia because I've been to Borneo, I've been to Sabah, and it was great. The people were so nice. But the Taiwan lady that drowned that day on Sapi Island, that wasn't so nice. Excuse me. All right. Guys, you know me, I have been not feeling too good. And I put on a lot of weight. It's bad. I probably am heavier than I was 3 years ago. It's kind of sickening in a lot of ways, and I'm tired of it. I'm going to do something about it. Just not right this second. But the next couple of days, I'm going to be going crazy on another fast and some exercise, and I just gotta do it. Depression's a terrible thing, and some people, like my father's 3rd wife, for example, they think that depression is a character flaw, and her son had depression, and the doctor prescribed Zoloft, and she acted like it was an insult. She was sitting there talking and says, yeah, and the doctor gave him Zoloft. And I opened up my bag. I said, you mean like this? I've been taking Zoloft for a while. It helps. You should just let them, let them take it and stay out of it. She didn't like that, but there's a big stigma on any kind of an illness. It can be considered psychological or mental illness. There's a big stigma. See that running red lights here is a big problem. That's another like Taiwanism. Hey Patrick, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. I'm just coming back from. I just got back from Elon, and instead of going home, my wife and my daughter decided they wanted to go see a movie, so I dropped them off. I'm going back, and I'm probably going to go to the Thai side of the neighborhood and have something to eat, maybe something to drink. It's funny how you have a vacation, and then you come back and you need a vacation from the vacation. It's weird. But Patrick is a computer scientist that I know, and I was privileged to work with him on the Automate project. Great project for studio console automation. Just fantastic. But yeah, I was just talking about. I put on some more weight, and it sucks. I feel heavy and I feel slow and lethargic, and it's bad. But it's because I've been suffering from seasonal depression, and it's something that I've had ever since I was poisoned by NutraSweet, aspartame, that stuff, and I didn't know I was allergic to it. And yeah, like it took like 5 or 6 years out of my life. Can't get those back. So I haven't been home. And I'm looking forward to that because I have I've got 3 mixes. I'm going to try to finish them this week. I got to do drums for them, but I have 3 client mixes. And they're very formulated songs, and I'm going absolutely to be trying that copy-paste version. You better believe it. See, what Patrick's talking about is when you're doing a mix, I'm talking about of a song, like most pop records are kind of formulated. And, there's an intro or a pre-chorus and a chorus, and then a second verse and another chorus. And the thing is sometimes you want to return exactly back where you were, so you get the same sound in the second verse that you got in the third verse, at least as a starting point. And then you can like add another instrument or raise something a little bit more. But particularly like if you've done any changes to the drums or something like that, you want it to kind of go back. And because some little tricks in mixing is you can push the whole mix up by 2 or 3 dB in certain sections, or you can just push like the snare drum or the whole drum kit up in those sections. But you want to pull them back down. And so what Patrick has done is he's made the automation system where you can have a start and end point. Those are time codes in the DAW, and you can copy all the automation data between those 2 points. Then you can set the DAW playhead at the other section, like at the next chorus, and paste those parameters there, and you'll have the exact same levels, effects, sends, everything. It's amazing. You'll have all the exact same sound. So, okay, here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to get rid of this guy here. Hold on. Yeah, I don't care about any of your promotions. You're out of here. Yes, I do. Goodbye. Why is it I never have problems like that on other platforms? It's only Twitch. Want to get famous? Yeah, have all these fake followers. What for? I got enough fake people in my life. Oh yeah, we're broadcasting also in Korea, 안녕하세요, on Africa TV. I'd forgotten that. So we're broadcasting on Band, which is it's public, but nobody uses it. Band is a fantastic little platform, but we're broadcasting on Band, Africa TV, not Africa, Africa TV, and also Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I gotta pay attention to what's going on. This looks bad. Yeah. These are the typical kind of the roads here. Now see this guy up in front of me, he's got a car called the Venue, and he doesn't have any taillights on. I don't know why. And he's got a black car at night. And it looks like he doesn't have any headlights on. Now I got to tell you, my experience has been, when I see people driving cars at night without their lights on, they're drunk. Only drunk people do that. Kai Dunn! Kai Dunn! He's got his daytime running lights on in the front, and his back lights are off, man. There you go. Got it now. I think he turned them on. No, those are his brake lights. Anyway, never mind. So I have my 12-string Harley Benton with me, and I have my new 61 Maestro Epiphone SG. And I've had a Gibson SG, and I gotta tell you, this thing is... Whew. I read the review of this SG, and one guy said that he thought it was better than his Gibson. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'll tell you what, I think it's just as good. It sounds great, and I really worked on the action, and man, I got like 0.75 millimeter action on this thing. I got it really down to nothing, and it's not buzzing, and I got 8s on it. Oh, plays like butter. Only thing is the tip of the Maestro vibrato arm was broken somehow in transit, and I opened everything at the UPS depot. I was out and I was busy, and I didn't want to have to wait around, so I just told them, leave it at the depot and I'll come get it. So I came and picked up everything, and I discarded all the packing material. See, I bought the guitar, and I bought a case for it. And to be quite honest with you, I unpacked it and everything looked fine, and I didn't even see that the tip was broken until I got it home. And it wasn't broken in the case because the piece wasn't in the case. And before I discarded the carton that the guitar came in, I scoured it. I took everything out. There was, just a couple of little items for, case candy, like the Epiphone sticker and a polishing rag and that kind of stuff. And there was no piece of the tip. So Thomann, the German company from whom I bought it, requires me to take pictures of the cartons and all that stuff to make any kind of a claim, and I just said, forget it. I'll just buy a new tip. So Brian May made his guitar, and the tip of his vibrato arm came from one of his mother's knitting needles. So hey. Anyway, I got to be really careful here. I'm on a road called, what's this called? Gongdaolu. So it's like a number 5 boulevard, I guess is how you would translate that in there. Boulevard 5 in English, and it's got a lot of traffic and a lot of people trying to, get on it. And this is going to be slow. We're going on a highway, and it's going to be slow going. It's red all the way. And from here, normally for me to go from here, this point where I'm at right now to home, is about 16 minutes, and right now it says it's 28 minutes on the highway. Oh boy, this is not good. So anyway, so I apologize to you guys for not having been on for so long, but when I was in Jiaoxi, it was nice during the day, then every night it would rain. And I mean, walking around with a gimbal in one hand and an umbrella in the other hand is not my idea of having fun. And it's hard because you can't do anything. Like, if you want to stop and pick something up, or you want to talk to somebody, it's like both your hands are full, and it's weird. I tried doing it before and it doesn't work. I tried to do some Hey-Go tours in the dead of summer, and I have this huge umbrella. It's actually made by a camping company. It's beautiful, and it has spring fiberglass. And I mean, I had this thing in high winds. It was inverted. It just goes back perfect. Nothing breaks on it. Only umbrella I've ever had I've had it like 5 years. It's never broken. And I was using an umbrella to protect myself from the sun because it was about 39 degrees C. And trying to hold the umbrella with one hand and the gimbal with the other hand, I mean, by the time 15 minutes was up, my arms were killing me. I was like, come on, man. So I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to go outside, so. Hey, there you go. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I need to get a 3D printer, but yeah, that'd be cool. I could print one with my own logo on it or something. I need a 3D printer. I want to get one. And I want to get a 3D printer that can print the type of metal impregnated material that I can use to make sand casting tools. Because we got this big sand casting factory with all this capacity, and there are a couple prototype things that I want to do and see how they work. I also understand that there are some 3D printing materials that you can use for wax in lost wax investment casting, and that would be really cool because I have access to those factories too. I could bring a piece of wax that's 3D printed, very intricate, down to the factory and have them build a shell mold around it, put it in the autoclave and melt the wax out, and then cast it. And that's really cool. But yeah, I've seen some pretty complex investment castings too that even had like spacers in it, kind of like they had in sand cast molds, which is hard to do. And you melt the wax out, but those things stay in. Kind of interesting. All right. Just a leisurely ride home. So I'm feeling better, and I'm going to hit the exercise machines. Not tonight, I'm way too tired. I got this new mattress because I hadn't been sleeping for, I got to tell you, I take like 30-something supplements a day, and I'm not used to having bodily pains like arthritis and things, and like in my fingers or in my back. I mean, except for where I ruptured a disc, but normally, you know, like my hips and knees and I don't have these pains. And then I started getting these pains, and I couldn't figure out what they were. It turns out it's my mattress. Went to the mattress shop, and they custom made one to fit our bed frame, made in Taiwan. They showed me the materials. It's really high quality, super high quality. Construction was amazing. I laid down on that thing and it was like going home, man. And now all my pain is gone. So we went to two places actually, and then the second place we went was in Jiaoxi at the Evergreen Resort, and we slept in a totally Japanese room, so Japanese onsen type facility, and we slept on Japanese style mats on the floor, and it was very comfortable, quite hard but still soft enough. And what I found is, for me, if the bed is too soft, that's what hurts. A lot of beds in Asia are very hard, way harder than their Western counterparts would be. And I find that I prefer those. Sometimes I will sleep on a bed that initially feels too hard, and I'll sleep on it for one night, just cleaning the lens. And I might have a little bit of discomfort or pain the next day, but then on the second night I get used to it, and there you go. It gets rid of a lot of bodily pain. So we got 2,500 kbps signal here, so should be doing pretty good. Should be full HD. I want to say hi to everyone in Korea on Africa TV. I appreciate you guys joining so much. We have one viewer now on Facebook. How's it going? Yeah, I don't get much traction on Facebook. It's amazing. But I was only using Facebook to promote my studio and my Hey Go tours, which I have ceased doing. It's complicated. I have a love-hate relationship with Hey Go. I enjoy the concept, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired, is the only way I can put it. See, I like the fact that anytime I want to, with these other platforms, I can just fire my phone up with Prism Live Studio and just simulcast to all these places, and I don't have to describe anything except in the title. I don't have to set up a live stream at the beginning, tell what I'm going to do, where I'm going to be, what time it is, and plan everything ahead of time, which is what you have to do with Hey Go, because they're called tours. You're supposed to get tours of things, and some people were just like given tours of, like, my kitchen cooking stuff, and some of the people got shut down, I think, because it was kind of dumb. But they expect you to go somewhere and show people stuff, and I was doing giant statues of Taiwan, and I was having a real good time. And I caught COVID on the East Coast. I did two places in Taiwan, and one place I did twice. I did Zero Shadow Day at the Tropic of Cancer marker on the East Coast, right on the water. And then later I did the Sanshan Tai, the 8-arch bridge in Taidong in the afternoon, and then I did it again in the morning on the way back, and it really wasn't that well received. And I got COVID. Then I got over COVID. I'm going to tell you what happened. Excuse me. I did the Foguangsan Buddhist monastery in Kaohsiung, and I did a Periscope broadcast back in 2016, and it was pretty successful, and they even contacted me on Twitter and thanked me for doing it, which I thought was nice. And I have since uploaded that replay to this channel, The Real Taiwan, and you can search for it. It's like F-O is the first word, and then G-U-A-N-G, Guang, and then S-H-A-N, San. It just means the mountain of enlightenment, basically, Buddhist type enlightenment. So I did this tour, and it was dead heat, like July. It was killing me, and I got my bush hat on, and there are some annoying things that go on in Hey Go where I don't know what it is, but the people who are, okay, there's the guides that would be, that would be the live streamer, and then the viewers, they call them voyagers. Well, the voyagers don't seem to have much experience in the live streaming world, and so they do things sometimes that annoy live streamers. And one of the things they did to me, which annoyed me so much that I haven't done another live stream on Hey Go yet, and I have to get out of the live stream mindset, because it's not really a live streaming site. You live stream tours, but it's not a spontaneous live streaming site. You have to plan it in advance, and it has to be a tour. But I did a tour. Now at the end, see, the thing about Hago is it's a tipping platform. So if you want, you tip, you donate money, and the guide gets a certain percentage. It's fairly high. It's not, 90%, but it's, it covers the cost of fuel and transportation and stuff like that, and you got a little extra in your pocket. And in my case, going to East Taiwan cost me more than I made, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm not into it for making money. I just want to do it, and if anybody wants to tip, that's fine, right? But what happened was, and this is the bad part, excuse me, I'm sorry. As you're doing the wrap up, it's like any other kind of sales pitch. It's like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining, and this is what we saw today, this and that and the other thing. And that's when people decide, was it worth anything to them? Tour, you enjoy the program, please consider it a tip, and throughout people will tip, and it's $2 or $3. That's fine. That's perfect, and then if everybody gave $1, it'd be different than one person giving 10 and other person giving 20, and they extending themselves more, right? But here's what happens. See, the Voyagers tend to be older. They tend to be less experienced on the internet, and apparently they think that finding something on Google is really special, and like they're the only ones that can do it. And so at the end of the tour, when I was given the wrap up, at the time when people decide if they're going to tip or not, somebody posted a Wikipedia link to the place that I was at. Well, I had said that I had no intention of giving them a history lesson. I wanted to show them the largest sitting Buddha in Taiwan. That thing is a monster. And that was the show. This was part of the, the giant statues of Taiwan tour. And I had previously shown several. And I went all the way down to the bottom of Taiwan in Kaohsiung County and was showing this thing. And right when, basically it's the money shot, somebody posts a link to Wikipedia, and it takes people out of my tour. And I just thought that was inappropriate and rude, and I didn't like it, and it made me ticked off. So I think the Hago management, by the way, I'm down to 427 kbps. I don't know why, but I think because all these cars, they all have, everybody has unlimited internet, so it's on all the time. Nobody shuts it off. So I think Hago management needs to make HTML parsing optional as selected by the host of the tour guide. Because if it was up to me, I would turn links off, where people could post the link, but it wouldn't parse into a clickable link. It would just post the information, and people, but here's the thing. Anybody can just put Fo Guang Shan, because that's what it looks like, S-H-A-N, into Wikipedia and find it themselves. And I tell people this. If I'm doing a tour on some place, I'm not going to give them an hour university lecture. I'm going to show them the cool stuff. And if they want to find out more, they can find out more. And everybody goes to Wikipedia. But please don't sabotage my tour by posting links that take people away from my tour. Hey, Uncle Bud, how you doing? Good to see you. How's things in Texas? All right. I think my transmission must be kind of unstable. Once I get moving and past this point, I think I'll be okay. Sorry about that. I'm at 600K BPS. Yeah, things are not going so good with the transmission here. I'm just kvetching. I'm complaining. But I got 3 new guitars to be happy about. Oh, the third guitar is another Harley Benton, and it is a flying V type, and it is really cool because it has some features that the Gibson doesn't have. But the string height at the nut is frightfully high, and I tried filing it down with my nut file, and I was unsuccessful because the nut file isn't biting into that material. I don't know what it is, some artificial material. And the neck relief is really weird because the truss rod doesn't seem to activate the upper part of the neck past the 12th fret area. That remains totally flat, and then the relief starts happening in the neck lower than, it's towards the headstock on the 12th fret. I got plenty of relief down there, but then when I'm start playing in the higher register, it's like weird. So I don't know exactly what's going on my SG. To get the neck relief to where I could get the action low and not buzzing, I had to back the truss rod all the way back off loose. It was completely loose. The nut, you could just take your Allen wrench, put in there, and just twist it with your fingers. It was completely loose. And I still didn't have enough relief, so I actually had to unscrew the truss rod and have it start putting pressure the opposite direction. That's what they mean by the, bidirectional truss rod. I actually had to unscrew it and put pressure that way so it pulled the neck forward. And then I got the relief that I needed. Now we're back up to 2,500. Then I got the relief that I needed to get the action, and boy, the action on that SG is like a dream. So you can basically lay a feather across it and make a bar chord. It's nuts. All right, we're starting to go here. And I just got to make sure that I don't look at the camera, look at the phone, and just look where I'm going. Because the last thing I want to do is live stream an accident. I'm going to take it nice and easy because I've been in that car all day. I've driven about 250 kilometers and I am tired. I might go to the Thai place tonight. And if I do, maybe I'll turn the camera on again. But having this wireless microphone is really a nice, it's a nice feature. I don't want to be in this lane. This is the breakdown lane. Although it goes slower, I'm gonna speed this up here. Hold on. Okay. If I missed any of your comments, I'm sorry, but I'm really concentrating on the road ahead. You can see what it looks like here in Taiwan. And these are the ETC system, these little blue lights. That's how they collect the toll. It shines down on the little RFID tag on the car. And yeah, debit your account, pretty cool. On the left and right, you see Jubei City. We're crossing the river. And this is the Tochen River, which separates Hsinchu City from Jubei. Jubei City is the richest place in Taiwan now. And the average price of an apartment-style home is almost $1 million US. It's amazing, but there's a lot of them are dark. If you look at these buildings, you see some lights, but you look on the left, these buildings there, a lot of them are dark. Much of the lights that you see are the common areas, like where the elevator lets out, on each floor. Those are common areas, but the apartments themselves are dark. They're not selling. There has been a building boom for the last 10 years, and I keep saying, I'm asking my wife, who's going to live here? where are these people coming from? You know, Taiwan's population is dropping. And yeah, so I don't know. Don't know where it's going to come from, but. All right, so finally we're up to about 71 kilometers an hour, and this highway has a 100 kilometer an hour speed limit, but I'm going to hold it back. I'm kind of tired, and I don't want to feel. I don't feel like I want to be like driving on the edge. So now we're to like 83. And I have cruise control, so I usually just pop it in cruise control and just watch my distance. These cars coming in from the right that are merging, they never know how to merge. There's a lot of, I don't know, urban knowledge. People think things that aren't actually true. Like, for example, most people in Taiwan think that when you're in the climbing lane, coming out, you know, from the exit ramp, coming up the ramp to get onto the highway, and you're in the climbing lane, that you can't pull into traffic until you reach the end of that lane where it starts to move over and merge. And that's just not true. The whole thing is a big dotted line. But so excuse me, what happens is you get a bunch of people all bunched up at the end who just want to pull over and jam in front of you, and it causes accidents. Just like another kind of urban knowledge thing is if you pull up to a stoplight and the light is red, it means you're frozen and you can't move until the light turns green. Even if there is a space or a space opens up in front of you, you can't pull up to the stop line because, see, it's a red light and it freezes you. And I get in these discussions with people all the time. I'm walking across the street and I'm telling people, move up. And they point to the light. I'm like, yeah, so what? There's the stop line. Move up to it. What are you doing? And yeah, there's a couple of weird things like that. I don't know why that is. Every country, every place has its thing. Now this is the okay, here you go. This sign is telling me that there's, yeah, oh boy, some traffic problems. This is the rest area up here, and it's kind of dangerous pulling in here because these guys just passed me on the breakdown lane, and they're not supposed to be going that fast. The breakdown lane has a 60 kilometer an hour limit. Now I always pull over into this lane for the rest stop because the rest stop has a fork where the right lane goes into the rest stop and then the left lane goes forward. You'll see that in a second. And I always am in this lane because it usually goes faster. It's not right this second, but see, those cars are pulling out of the way and now I'm going straight. And the reason I stay in this lane is because I'm going to be taking the next exit, and of course we got a truck here now, and this is unusual, but normally this lane goes very quickly. Now I'm really tired and I don't feel like, you know, like I'm driving the GTR or something. I'm just going to stay behind this truck, and we're going 63. That's kilometers an hour. I'm just going to stay behind here. We got a couple cars merging up here, and I'm taking the next exit, and I'm going to sign off. I'll be getting near my house. So hopefully this week I'll be having my conversation with Xiao Hui and complaining to her about how Wenwen's staff has treated me, and we'll see what happens. She'll talk to Wenwen, but I think Wenwen has lost her way. She's not interested in the restaurant anymore. It's all about the karaoke rooms and Vietnam girls, and sorry, that's not my thing. I don't go there to cheat. And in the old place, cheaters were a problem because a lot of guys didn't want to be on camera because they were there to play with some girl upstairs who's not their wife, you know, and I was careful about that. But in the new place, that's pretty much all it's about. Nobody's there to eat. They order food in the rooms, but see, the karaoke girls come there and they make the Taiwanese guys pay for dinner, you know, and everything else. So they order a bunch of food, and it's just crazy. All right, this is the exit. So what I'm going to do is leave it on until we get to the bottom of this hill when I take a right, which is the entrance to the Hsinchu Industrial Park. And this is where I live, and then I'm going to sign off, and if I get a chance, I'll come back on later, depending on what I do. But I got a whole bunch of luggage to unload. All right, so wouldn't surprise me if I had about 3 views on this, because I haven't been live streaming in 2 weeks since Noel was here, and maybe 2 weeks before that. I think I've had 1 live stream in a month. But you go through periods of time where you just, you know, thanks, Uncle Bud, I appreciate it. I'll be sure and tell them. You go through periods of time where it just, you know, isn't working. So here you go. These lights that are on the right here, they say that this is the, they call it the Hsinchu Industrial Park, and it's the east area. So it said basically Hsinchu Gongye-chu, which is the industrial park. Okay, guys, you take care, and I'll see you later. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye. Hopefully you'll see me later tonight. All right.